Okay, we're here at the new Urban Agenda interview corner. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Craig. I'm Madam Badriyah Abdul Malek from the Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water, Malaysia. I'm the Deputy Secretary General who is in charge of energy and green technology.
Okay, so the new Urban Agenda sets out a very ambitious vision along with the Sustainable Development Goals for sustainable urbanization and urban development. How is your work and the work of the ministry contributing to that?
In Malaysia, we put the SDG and urban agenda high on the priority list. And I think at the ministry, currently we're doing a lot of work, especially to ensure about urban development, because in Malaysia also there's a lot of people moving from the rural areas into the city, and it is causing a lot of issues, especially social issues, health issues in terms of waste management, transportation, and many other issues, especially when you talk about city dwellings. So it is really quite a challenge on itself. We have many big cities. There are 14 states in Malaysia, and 13, most of the state capitals are highly urbanized. So a lot of people, especially Kuala Lumpur, there are 3 million people living in Kuala Lumpur. So a lot of things that need to be managed and a lot of issues that you have to handle so that people will live in a very comfortable, sustainable way of living.
Yesterday, in the keynote speech by Dr. Juan Clos, Executive Director of UN Habitat, he called on participants to change the way we see urbanization, to not see it as a problem but as an opportunity. What do you think about that?
I think that is a very interesting proposition. I think where I come from Malaysia, we always look at urbanization as more of a lot of issues and problems you need to handle. But having heard him yesterday, it was a new shift, saying that it's an opportunity. So I think that is actually putting a mindset in a positive way of looking at things, and that's really very good. And I think that put us in a different track than how we were looking at things, how we were looking at urbanization before. So I think for Malaysia, it is a new thing that I think I need to go home and propagate that kind of positive knowledge to start having these positive vibes. And I think it's important to have that mind shift, looking rather than looking at urban issues as a problem, but it is actually an opportunity.
Yeah. And maybe the responsibilities and roles of local government for sustainable urbanization are clear, but how are national governments contributing to that vision?
In Malaysia, we have 3-tier government. We have federal government, we have state government, and we have the local government. The local government is very much answerable to the state government. And at federal level, I'm a federal officer, and that makes a little bit of a daunting task, because the state have the ability to handle things their way, and they will choose to actually see how it is suitable, the suitability of government federal policies if it's supposed to be implemented at the state level. But I think having said that, in Malaysia we have many platforms, we have many councils that are chaired by the prime ministers, and committees chaired by the ministers, which we link between federal government and the state government, and also the local authority. I think we will come to a common landing. That would be not so difficult, but we have to get everybody on the same platform and the same wavelength, so that you will understand where we're coming from federal, and them at the state level, because their scope is very narrow and very small. You have to bring them in to understand where we're coming from the federal level.
Yeah.
Because we're looking more at the global agenda, national level,
Yeah.
and I think that's where we need to make them understand, so that where we're coming from is at the end of the day is for the common good for everybody.
Yeah. And your area of expertise is energy. So what role does energy have, and the way we consume and produce energy as we think about sustainable development?
When you talk about energy in sustainable development, I think the most important thing for me, I'm speaking from Malaysian perspective, is actually pushing for the clean energy agenda. Of course, we have a Renewable Energy Act 2011 in Malaysia. We're pushing hard for the growth of solar energy, hydro power, biomass and biogas. And also at the same time, we are also pushing for demand side management. That means to use energy efficiently. In Malaysia, we are actually trying to balance both the supply side and the demand side as well, so that we are talking more about sustainable consumption.
Yeah.
It is important that you try to reduce the footprint of every person in Malaysia, because we have quite a high per capita carbon emission.
Right.
So we need to ensure our daily practices, how you go about doing your daily chores, that you reduce as much carbon as possible. I think one of the most important thing in Malaysia is the transport sector. Almost everybody has a car. It's different. The shift has gone in Europe. I could see from here. You talk about most European countries, everybody's talking about mass transit.
Yeah.
Where you go on a train, on a commuter, or things like that, or a tram. Whereas in Malaysia, almost everyone drives, and that is having a huge impact on how we manage our carbon emission.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important, and I think at the government level, we're pushing hard. We just launched our Green Technology Master Plan, which was launched last October. It is planned for Malaysia how we're going to push for green development, reduce our carbon emission in the next 13 years until 2030.
Okay. So just one final question. You're doing a lot of great work and you're very ambitious, it seems. So 2030, what's your vision for a sustainable city in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, we talk about sustainable city, we hope there are 6 main things we need to look at Malaysia. We need to look at the transport sector and the power sector. We need to look at the manufacturing sector, which is also taking a lot of energy, and how we manage our waste and water, and also our building sector. So it's a whole lot of things to look in the next 13 years. But we are putting our priority list. And I think if you look at in the next 2030, our target is, of course, we are zeroing on the major big cities for them to adopt certain international standards in terms of energy, water, building sector, that kind of thing. So I think we are very positive looking into that, and we are hoping that we can actually meet a certain target. It's still a long way as how the European has arrived, but I think we're not doing too bad because we have a comprehensive national framework how we're going to arrive there.
Well, congratulations and thank you very much. We wish you luck. Thanks.